You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. Friday, January 12th. One of the most active winter weather patterns in history continues across the Midwest into the East Coast as the heaviest snow in 3 years starts to bombard the Chicago area. In the past 2 to 3 years, record-breaking low pressure is possible. Later on today, a double-barrel low-pressure system develops across the Midwest, a bomb cyclone expected. Next winter storm comes in Monday into Monday night for the Deep South, Memphis, Tennessee, parts of Arkansas. Cincinnati a little bit too far north right now, but they will be impacted. Parts of the snow may come to the Baltimore area, and if they don't get snow from that, there's a coastal low that develops off the North Carolina coast. This would bring the end of over 700-day snow drought in Baltimore. This will allow children to finally see what snow is, what their parents and grandparents have been talking about all along. I wish everybody a wonderful Shabbos and stay safe. Have lots of fun. We will now hear more details about how these storms are going to be affecting the Chicago, some of the southern states, and the mid-Atlantic area, including Baltimore. Stay tuned. It's really exciting. What makes this storm totally phenomenal, besides the fact that it's happening, this weather pattern change happened on the day of the new moon, which is when the gravitational pull is the strongest, or in the Hebrew months, it's the first day of Shvat, which we spoke about in the past. What also makes this phenomenal is the uncertainty of the forecast. In fact, I'm going to read to you something from the National Weather Service of Chicago, which basically says they are... You'll hear what they say over here. It says, with the morning update, opted to maintain the going forecasts in our gridded database to avoid flip-flopping. Meaning the forecast needs to be updated. It really does. But the problem is if they update the forecast and then there's a chance they're going to have to go back to the original forecast. So it sounds unprofessional. That's a flip-flop. So to avoid flip-flopping, they refused to update the forecast. Therefore, the only place you could find out the true forecast right now is the forecast discussion from the National Weather Service. It's not what they're broadcasting in public. Totally amazing. So with that, we're going to have to read straight from the forecast discussion. With the morning update, we opted to maintain the going forecast in our gridded database to avoid flip-flopping. Though adjustments may become required by this afternoon as trends evolve. So the moment they gain confidence that it's not going to have to be a flip-flop, that's when they will flip. The forecast needs to be flipped, but they don't want to flop it. So there we have it. As trends evolve and the rain-snow line becomes evident, including potential moving away from additional wintry impacts across a sizable portion of the forecast area. However, we did opt to downgrade the LaSalle, Kendall, Grundy, Will, and Southern Cook counties from a winter storm warning to a winter weather advisory now that the morning thump is over. And we certainly had a morning thump, at least around here. In fact, there's very good reason to believe that thunder was reported. It was included in the forecast suddenly out of nowhere, thunder, and it had that look like there were thunderstorms. I didn't hear thunder, but for now, we will maintain the southern parts of the area of the winter weather advisory that goes into effect this evening. That's for Livingston, Ford Lake, Indiana, and Porter counties. We're going to get to Baltimore in just a second, by the way, if the people are listening and they're interested in Baltimore, and we'll get to Memphis, Tennessee, some Arkansas. We will consider making a pretty sizable adjustment this afternoon as trends evoke. Now, we go into, we're going to skip a few crucial things that we should not be skipping, but we're skipping it anyways. And we'll read this paragraph over here because this is unique. This paragraph will tell us how unique the current storm system is. Early this morning, says the National Weather Service, Friday morning, January 12th, we're watching a double barrel, quote unquote, low pressure system. You don't see those words too often. A double barrel low pressure system with one low over the southern Missouri area and a second low over western Arkansas. We're going to see that second low, and the phone just shut down. So that takes care of that. I'm not able to read the rest because the phone turned off. So I'm just going to explain it. The second low is going to become the main low pressure system in Arkansas, and that's the one that's going to go through it's going to bomb out. It's called abomogenesis, and they point out clearly this is something that's common by nor'easters. It's not common here in the Midwest, but we're going to have it in the Midwest nonetheless as the barometric pressure drops 28.9, 28.8, 28.7. These are things that we speak about sometimes in forecasts. Sometimes they're forecasted to happen, but they never do. Well, right now we're just hours away of the system, and it's still forecasted to happen. So at the same time, we see that there could be a downgrade in certain winter precipitation this afternoon as things change over to rain. Winds will lighten up, as we've pointed out in the past, as the storm's center becomes closer to Chicago. And now we have to worry about two centers, so we had more of a reason to assume the winds are going to die down. Once the storm passes through, the winds pick up and we have the heavier snow. That's really where the blizzard comes in, and that's for tonight. Frequent blizzard conditions are expected for tonight. Okay, now this is